Hello beautiful souls, welcome back to another video on Starseed Academy. My name is Jenny. So today I want to talk with you about something that I saw in a download, and I'm calling it the family tree of souls because it's a diagram or an explanation, which I'm going to draw for you in a little bit, about source at the top and then you at the bottom and then all of the connections in between, like a family tree. So before we jump in, please remember to subscribe to this channel for new videos every Sunday and Wednesday, and share this video, like this video if you like it. And then don't forget that if you want to work with me personally, check out the links in the description box. So we've got lots of things there, membership programs, readings, all kinds of great things. Okay, so this download came through when I was trying to understand basically, a lot of things like karma. Like, I think I was, ruminating a lot about things like karma, twin flames, past life healing, and I was meditating and I had this like flash of this family tree, and I knew right away that I wanted to talk about it. Now, what I do want to say is that, as the human, in way down at the bottom, like all of that much larger perspectives can kind of get lost when we try to figure things out. So, take it or leave it. This is just my perspective on things. Add to it if you want in the comments below. Add to it what comes to you. We all have a piece of the puzzle. So we're going to talk about all of the different connections, and I'm going to just see what you think about this download. So we'll jump into that now. Okay, so I'm gonna try to draw what I saw in this download, and essentially it's like a family tree for souls. So if at the top we have source or God, however you like to call it, and then it begins to individualize or split itself, and we'll start with 2. Okay. And we're going to talk about what each circle represents in just a second. And then, just imagine it just keeps, it's an infinite split. So everything just keeps getting more and more succinct or detailed or specific. So, you understand where we're going with this. I don't have to draw all the little circles, but just imagine that all of this just keeps going. And if it's infinite, and I don't even know how many splits would come off of each group, it's just gonna get, just imagine. So we'll just draw in the layers quickly. I know I am no artist, but I wanna get to the bottom layer to make a point. Okay, so imagine that this is the bottom layer right now. And this is actually just like infinitely going and going and going. So we're not going to draw it all in, but it's almost limitless. It's almost eternal. It just keeps going and flowing down. Then near the bottom, when you would have billions of these little circles, you would get ready for like an incarnation. And so then in each incarnation, you as the soul would have a male and a female aspect in the same lifetime, same timeline. So we're going to use Earth as an example. So if all of these souls have a male and a female aspect, within that soul is both. Okay, so that's the yin yang symbol. Okay, so they have the male and the female essence within, and then they incarnate onto Earth, which is what we're using as the example. And we see here that it's a physical, biological male and a female. Now that doesn't mean that this male, sorry about the traffic if you're hearing that. So that doesn't mean that this male human doesn't also have female energy, or that this female human doesn't also have male energy, but it's the physical, biological representation of that. So like the physical body, one man, one woman. And then above that, the soul had both, and it was in harmony. So I think this is what people would term a twin flame, right? So the same soul being split into one male and one female. Now I've heard that can happen in between 3 souls, so you could have 3 twin flames, but that just makes this example really confusing. So we're gonna leave it here. Okay, so up here, if this is the wholeness, then this would be all of the versions of you. Okay, so parallel versions of yourself. That means across lifetimes, timelines, all of the versions of you in this circle. And then as you have incarnations, you've got one male and one female that could kind of magnetize towards each other. As we're going up, the next line of souls or soul energy or oversouls or whatever you want to call this, I don't know the terminology that would be correct. And in the end, it doesn't really matter because that's human terminology. But this would be the next level up would be your soul group, right? So if this is a twin flame connection, these are all the versions of you across time and space and the lifetimes that you're living all at once, because time doesn't exist. Then this is the soul group. So this would be all your friends, your family, everyone that's in your soul group that has karma, because you keep reincarnating within lifetimes together, right? Your mother, your father, your siblings, all of your family, all of your friends, anyone that makes an impact in your life, it matters, and it's all karma. Then when you go up one more, up here, you would probably have your spirit team, because they're all people too. They're all souls too. So all of your guides, animal spirit guides, galactic spirit guides, angels, all of it, all of your spirit team. And then you could even go up one higher, and maybe these are all the councils that you're a part of, right? Councils of light, Galactic Federation, angelic councils, whatever. And then here, maybe this is the oversoul. And then you're back to source, right? So if this was a family tree with all of these connections, you could essentially heal yourself back to wholeness. So you would start way down here with this connection and healing that energy. And then you would get into your childhood and your past lives and heal all those versions of you. And then you would be healing the karma in your soul group, right? So every time you work out something with, your family member or friends, people that you continue to reincarnate with, you know what the soul group is. So healing that connection. Then going back up to your spirit team, which would, it includes all of this now in here, healing all of that. And then going up into the councils, up to the oversoul, you're healing your way back to source. And then going in the other direction, energy flows downwards from source naturally. So if you visualize this pouring a pitcher of water, you're pouring the water and it goes all the way through all of this before it gets to you. And then there's all of these different, the water just pours out, right? If it's water pouring downwards, then that is why ancestor wounds affect you. Because as the water makes its way down, it touches every single thing. As the energy flows downwards from source, it goes through all of these channels to get to you. So you are being affected by all of this. Okay, so if you've ever heard the saying that when you heal yourself, you heal your future children, because the energy goes downwards. Or that when you heal your ancestor wounds, that your ancestor wounds, your witch wounds, all of that can exist inside you way down here, because the water or the energy flowed downwards and touched everything and then gathered like a pool to create you. So this download was, it was about the family tree of souls. And then down here, it's also about healing back to wholeness. So, this is a very large concept drawn very crudely here. And, trying to understand such a huge concept while inside of the human way down here, we're not going to have the perspective of this, especially not this. So we try to make do with what we have for information. We use our intuition. We can feel it. You can literally feel the energy connections when you're going in either direction. But these channels between each one of these bubbles, each one of these energy pockets or these soul pockets is so important. And that's what you're healing. You're healing within, and you're healing the pathways back to source as well. So I'd be very interested to see what everybody thinks about this. And again, you just take this all with a grain of salt, because this is just my understanding, just me trying to understand something really large. we all have a piece of the puzzle, and I welcome your ideas on this. So yeah, I can't wait to hear. So as you can see, that diagram with all of the different layers, and if at the very bottom is like our idea of what a twin flame is, I mean, that does make sense in a lot of ways. But what made a lot of sense to me is that the karma part of things. So, you know, the water pitcher that flows downwards is, I mean, contaminated isn't a nice word, because it can be bad or good that you can receive things from your ancestors. But the water that pours down is affected because it's going through all of those channels before it gets to you. So that makes sense to me why things like a witch wound or an ancestor wound would still be affecting you now, because you're not separate. And it also makes sense to me about karma when we talk about like soul groups, like your parents and the people that you keep incarnating with over and over, your closest friends and family, your pets even, all of it. That energy of it is all contained and it's all connected to you as an individual, right? And this is why we can view ourselves as separate down at the bottom as these little individuals, but truly separation is an illusion, because look at all the connections going all the way back upwards to source. So I don't know, I feel like it explains a lot of things in that way, like the way that all of that is affecting us in one lifetime. It also explains why, you know, how we're living parallel lifetimes across all these timelines. Time doesn't exist, and you are living now probably as a Pleiadian or an Arcturian or on another Earth timeline, all parallel lifetimes happening at the same time. And so that was just above like the idea of, you know, the twin flame happening here in this lifetime, in this incarnation, and those two magnets finding each other, being the same soul, but also within that circle above is all the versions of you and them, because you're one person, you're all of it, all of the parallel timelines and selves across time, and then going up and up and up. And it just, I don't know, I don't even think I've opened how much this family tree of souls actually does explain, but so far I'm seeing that it can connect a lot of dots. So I'm just really interested in what you think about this. And then also, how do you feel about the idea of like healing back to wholeness, or oneness, you could call it, healing going the opposite direction, going up? So does that resonate with you? Just something different that I thought I'd throw out there that I saw during one of my meditations. So, you know, whenever I do share things like this, there's always so many of you that literally just started having the same kinds of insights, because we're all so linked, right? I mean, just like that diagram proved, we are all so linked. We're all the same at the top. We're just one source, and then we're just personalized more and more specifically and detailed in each layer going down. So, I mean, truly we are all one. So anyway, I'm just really excited to hear what you think about this. Thank you so much for tuning in. I want to remind you just once again to like and share this video. Check out the links if you want to work with me personally, maybe find out some of those past lives, parallel versions of yourself, or, you know, meet with your team, your spirit guide team. There's lots of readings there that connect all of those different layers together. And of course, before you go, please remember, listen to your heart and the quiet voice within, because you are so much more than the body you are in. This is the perfect video for that. You are so much more than the body we're in. So thank you so much, beautiful star seeds. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.